Six Flags Great Adventure originally started as the vision of entrepreneur Warner Leroy. Warner wanted to build a massive resort called Great Adventure where guests can truly have the experience of a lifetime. Warner's vision for the spectacular resort was, in his opinion, gonna be so successful that he thought it would one day rival Disney World. It's safe to say Warner's vision wasn't so crazy, as today's Six Flags Great Adventure is one of the best amusement parks in the world. However, Six Flags Great Adventure is definitely nothing like Disney World. Over the years, the park switched owners a couple of times and has had its fair share of struggles. This is the story of Six Flags Great Adventure, the rise, the fall, and the rise again. That's right, Six Flags Great Adventure may not be as popular today as it once was. But that is slowly changing. As the park comes up on its 50th anniversary next year, it seems they are taking a turn for the better. Changes are already underway to once again bring this park to the beauty it once was. Before I get to that though, let's get back to how it all started. The 1970s. As I mentioned earlier, Six Flags Great Adventure originally started as a vision of entrepreneur Warner Leroy. Warner wanted to build a super resort that would truly be a great adventure. His original plans for the resort were quite ambitious and would have been awesome if they actually happened. Warner originally planned to build 7 parks, including an amusement park, a water park, a safari park, a show park, a floral park, a shopping district, and a sports complex. Warner really did have big plans for the park, but only some of them would come to fruition in the coming years. In 1972, Leroy started working on concept plans for his park. He wanted to build a beautiful resort that would flow naturally through the forests and lakes of New Jersey. The location he picked was really perfect. Located right in between some of the biggest population centers in the country, the new resort will be able to draw crowds from the New York City and Philadelphia areas. At the same time though, the resort would also be located in the middle of nowhere in New Jersey, where there would be little local competition for the resort, if not none at all. The original concept for Great Adventure featured plans to build a stunning on-site hotel that would be able to be accessed in practically any way imaginable. You could go the standard way and take a bus to the hotel, or you could take a monorail. Access to the hotel would also be available via boat, and you'd be able to take a sky ride directly to the hotel. The plans for Great Adventure were quite extreme, and Leroy called upon experts to help him bring his vision to reality. The plan was to open 7 parks over a 5-year period, with their first opening in 1974. The resort did actually open on time, with both the Safari and the Enchanted Forest parks opening to the public in July of 1974. The Safari was an animal safari that still operates beside the park today, and the Enchanted Forest was the resort's amusement park later changed to be called Great Adventure, which is the Great Adventure you know today. Aside from the Enchanted Forest and the Safari, the remaining sections of the resort either never opened or opened somewhere in the resort, eventually becoming a part of the amusement park. Before I continue, I want you to subscribe. I truly put my best into every video on this channel, and we are so close to reaching 2,500 subscribers. If you subscribed, I really appreciate it, and I can't describe my appreciation to every single subscriber and viewer of this channel. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Back to Great Adventure. Leroy continued to build up his parks, and in 1977, construction began on a steel looping coaster set to open the following year. Later that year, however, Leroy received an offer from Six Flags, who wished to purchase the park and continue its development. Leroy decided to take the offer and sold his dream park to Six Flags. Six Flags would go on to continue the development of the property, investing in a ton of new attractions in the years to come. But Six Flags would face its own fair share of issues over the years. The first major shift for Six Flags was when Time Warner purchased the chain in 1990. Time Warner would then go on to sell the chain to Premier Parks in 1998, just 8 years later. The chain would continue investment into Great Adventure throughout this time, until a major battle occurred in the company in late 2005. Six Flags Great Adventure was by far the most visited park in the Six Flags chain in the chain's early years, and this would last all the way until the chain headed into bankruptcy starting in 2008. The chain would eventually emerge from bankruptcy, but some of their parks would see massive attendance dips, with Great Adventure having only 2.65 million visitors in 2012 compared to the average of around 3 million yearly visitors the park normally got. Post-bankruptcy, the Six Flags chain had a very different investment strategy, and the quality of the park started to decline heavily. Six Flags Great Adventure started declining as well, and it wasn't long before Magic Mountain overtook it in attendance. Great Adventure would continue on the decline in quality over the 2010s, but the park's attendance would still grow year over year. The entire theme park industry was experiencing a boom like never before, and Great Adventure would benefit from this as well. By 2019, Six Flags Great Adventure was performing very well once again in terms of attendance, bringing in just under 3.5 million visitors in the 2019 season. The park then announced their first original coaster investment in almost 15 years, and it seemed there was starting to be a glimmer of hope for this once booming park. 2020 was no ordinary year, and the chain's brand new CEO, Mike Spanos, wouldn't really even get a chance to make any major changes. Salim Basool stepped in as CEO in November of 2021 and was right away met with a mixed response. On the one hand, he seemed to have good ideas for the future of the chain, like increasing park quality and park beautification, as well as making the parks more appealing to families. Some loved the new changes Salim was making to his parks, but others couldn't take it. Six Flags is a thrill chain, and not investing in any new rides didn't sound like a good idea. Luckily, by now though, it seems Salim has learned how the amusement industry works, and he's been doing some great things for the chain. Six Flags Great Adventure got a brand new entrance sign in 2022, as well as a re-theme to one of their coasters. New food options and redone bathrooms were popping up across the parks, and Six Flags Great Adventure once again began to look like the park it once was. Six Flags Great Adventure's 50th anniversary is coming up in 2024, and the park is preparing for their largest investment since El Toro. In the last couple of years, Superman and Batman were repainted, and both Medusa and Little Devil were rethemed. El Toro is currently being redone, and Nitro seems scheduled to get a massive repaint in the next few months. The park redid their entrance and added a brand new entrance sign in 2022, and all eyes are now on 2024. Six Flags Great Adventure is finally headed in the right direction again, and it seems they are about to open an awesome new roller coaster for their 50th anniversary. While Warner's original plan for this park was to create 7 massive parks, Great Adventure today offers 3 major attractions: a water park, a safari, and of course the giant amusement park. Six Flags Great Adventure had a rocky 50 years, but I think things will finally be taking a turn for the better. Just a 3-minute drive from Great Adventure, Adventure Crossings USA is under construction. The project cost well over $500 million to develop and includes some amazing hotels, a sports complex, indoor rock climbing, arcades, laser tag, golf, a surf park, and so much more. If Six Flags Great Adventure were to open a massive new roller coaster, the chances are a lot of the people taking a trip to this new crazy resort will want to spend a day or two 3 minutes away at one of the best amusement parks in the country. Think about it. If you're on vacation and Fury 325 is opening next door to you, you can't pass up the opportunity to pay the park a visit. Six Flags Great Adventure has the perfect opportunity to take the park back in the direction it was once headed. Hershey Park, right nearby, has been rapidly expanding lately, and now even Dorney Park is planning to open a major new coaster. I think Salim Basool is going to make the right decision and give Six Flags Great Adventure the perfect new coaster for 2024. I think the park has a very bright future, and over the next 10 years, I think we will start seeing some awesome things coming out of the Six Flags chain. Maybe Six Flags can even finally start to win against Cedar Fair. Until then though, Cedar Fair is planning to open one of their best coasters ever at Kings Island, and it's gonna be a lot better than you think. Click here to see which coaster I think will replace Vortex and open at Kings Island as early as next year.